In part one of this tutorial, we will be sewing the vinyl version of the wallet. So first we need to stabilize this piece with the Decorative Light. Now, if you're not going to edge coat the zipper cutout, you can go ahead and skip adding the Decorative Light to this piece if you like. All right, so you're going to turn your piece, this is the exterior pocket, the exterior zipper pocket. We're going to place this wrong size up. And see, I've already drawn my lines here, but you're going to take your paper template, put that over on top, and then trace out the lines. Next, you're going to grab your Decorative Light, and this is how you're going to cut that stabilizer piece. You're going to place this over this line, centering them over the cutout line you drew, making sure it's centered from the sides. You're going to fuse this to the wrong side of your exterior zipper pocket piece. With the Decorative Light fused, you're going to go ahead and use an X-Acto knife, or if you have a box cutter or something similar, and just cut out your zipper box. I use Decorative Light on my exterior zipper pocket for the cutout because I think it gives you a nice stability to the zipper cutout, and it also allows you to have this nice clean edge when you cut to edge paint that cut out. Now, if you were using your cutting machine, the Decorative Light will have already been cut, the zipper cut out along with the exterior, so you just put these two together, put the Decorative Light on top and fuse it. Honestly, if I was doing this, I would probably do it manually, cut it manually, because it's easier. As you're cutting both of them at the same time, so it gives it that smooth, clean edge. With the cutter, you have to be precise as you're placing your Decorative Light on top to fuse it. So we're going to go ahead and edge coat the entire cutout here. For me, I do not use a base coat to do this. I just go ahead and use my edge paint for this. So no base coat, just edge paint. In this section, we will be working on the credit card slots. So these are your 6 pieces you're going to need. The upper credit card top and backing with the lining, middle credit card top with the lining, and the credit card front with the lining. Okay, first we're going to grab our upper credit card top and backing, and we're going to place this piece wrong size up and draw a line 1 inch away from the bottom, and I've already drew my line here. And then next you're going to add double-sided tape right below that line on the sides and on the bottom. Now, I'm going to be using a lot of double-sided tape in this pattern, and it's because I found that if my edges stick together really well, when it comes time to edge paint, it goes by so smoothly. It's easier to edge coat if your edges are like sticking together instead of like loose. So that's why I'm using this much double-sided tape. I mean, I love double-sided tape, don't get me wrong, but this is one of the reasons I'm using a lot in this pattern. Now, you're totally free to use glue or use clips, whatever, one of the clips, whatever you need to do when applicable. Next, grab your upper credit card lining, and you're going to place this right size down below the line you just drew. And you'll notice I've already taken my backing from the double-sided tape. Just to avoid being very repetitive, I am not going to tell you to remove double-sided tape every time I take it. I'm just going to take it off and add my pieces. So if you're using that, remember to remove the backing before you add your pieces together. So I'm going to place this right size down right below the line. Now, before we go and top stitch this piece, we're going to work on adding the lining to the other exterior, the other credit card tops before we go to our machine to top stitch. So we're going to place this aside and then grab the middle credit card top and the lining for that. So you're going to place this wrong size up. And we're going to mark a line from the top of this piece. Let's make sure if it's directional fabric, I know where my top is. And I'm going to mark a line, draw a line, 1/4 inch from the top. And then we're going to add double-sided tape right below that line at the sides and at the bottom. Now grab your middle credit card lining. We're going to place this right size down right below the line we drew. Next, we're going to mark a line 1/2 inch away from the top of this piece. And then add a piece of double-sided tape at the very top edge. And then we're going to fold this edge to the line we drew. You can add a finger press this. If you have a roller, this is a nice tool to use to just press that down so it gives you a nice crisp edge. Again, we're not going to top stitch this yet. Just yet, we're going to work on the credit card front and lining. So we'll set this aside. Okay, so then the last piece we're going to work on is the credit card front with the lining. You're going to place this wrong sides up again, and we're going to mark a line 1/4 inch away from the top. Then add a piece of double-sided tape below the line and on the sides and the bottom. Now grab the lining and you're going to lay this right sides down right below that line. Now I am using, I think it's called Olive Fun fabric. So I don't think there's any right side or wrong sides to this fabric. So it doesn't really matter which side I place down. But if you're using a fabric that you can definitely tell the wrong side and the right side, you want to pay attention to how you're placing these down. Okay. Once that is done, you're going to draw a line again, like we did for the middle one. I'm going to draw a line 1/2 inch down from the top. And add a piece of double-sided tape at the raw edge, the top raw edge. Next, we're going to fold that raw edge to the line we just drew. Okay, next grab all your pieces that you've added the lining to, and this is what we're going to do when we go to the sewing machine. For your upper credit card top with backing, you're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the raw edge. For the middle credit card top and the lining, you're going to top stitch 1/8 away from the folded edge at the top, and also you're going to top stitch 1/8 seam allowance away from the raw edge. Then for the credit card front, you're going to top stitch 1/8 seam allowance from your folded edge. Okay, next up, after we were done top stitching the lining to our exterior pieces, we're going to add some placement marks on the upper credit card top here. So you want to go 1/2 inch away from the raw edge of your upper credit card top. Turn this over this way. You just want to place just a small mark here, not the whole way, okay? Just a little mark there. Then grab the middle credit card top with their lining attached, and you're going to add double-sided tape on the sides and the bottom. All right, now grab the upper credit card top with the lining attached on there, and we're going to place the middle credit card top right on that placement mark. Next, we're going to draw a line 1/3 away from this fold, the credit card, the middle credit card fold. Then we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to sew following the line we drew. Next, we are going to add placement marks 1/2 inch down from the folded edge of the middle credit card top. Then grab the credit card front and we're going to add double-sided tape on the sides and the bottom. Then grab the credit card front and you're going to place this wrong size down right on that placement mark. Okay, once you're done with that, you want to draw a line 4 inches away from the side. And you're going to start at the middle credit card top here and go down to the bottom. And then we're going to take this to the sewing machine and sew following the lines. You want to start at the bottom here, go up as you come to the top, pivot, and sew all the way down. Once that's done, you just want to trim off any excess fabric you have on the sides and the bottom here. All right, then flip this to the wrong size and we're going to add some double-sided tape. Next, we're going to fold this piece in half, wrong sides together, and just making sure we're matching our edges. And I'll grab my roller here and just roll my edges here and just the whole credit card slot just to help the pieces stick together. And then you just want to make sure the top of your credit card slot here is about 1/2 inch away from the middle credit card fold. And then we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to top stitch, add 1/8 seam allowance from that top folded edge. Okay, this is your credit card slot done. The front with the 4 credit card slots, and this back is going to be the slip pocket when we attach it to the piece. In the section, we will be working on the zipper pocket. First, I'm going to show you how I cut the lines on the lining for the zipper. If you had a cutting machine, this will already be done for you. So place your zipper pocket lining wrong size up. You're going to place the template, the paper template on top. And what I do is usually just fold the V's and trace that first. At this point, I do not use this to trace the straight line because it's pretty much difficult, impossible for me to do and have a straight line. So I'll take that off, grab my ruler, and just connect the 2 V's. Went all the way over there. Before I cut out the line, I find it easier to add my double-sided tape first. Okay, so I've added my double-sided tape across from the line and then away from the V over here. And then to make folding this edge easier and straighter, I will then draw a line 1/2 inch away from that center line on both sides. I would then go ahead and cut my slit following that center line. Stop right at the start of the V and then cut out my V's. got a little too excited when I was drawing my line and went through the V. But you're going to stop at the V, not through the V. Now, if you use a cutting machine, all you have to do is just add your double-sided tape, draw your lines, and then fold your edges like we're about to do. So then I will fold the V edges first. Once I'm done folding the V edges, I will then fold the center edges. So just fold this to the line. Next, grab your zipper and place this right sides up, and you're going to add a piece of double-sided tape at the two long raw edges. And then we're going to place the exterior zipper pocket wrong sides down on top of the zipper. Okay, just make sure this is centered over the zipper. And I'm going to flip this over to the wrong side. And then we're going to add double-sided tape at the edges, the longer edges of the zipper. All right, then grab your lining, and we're going to place this wrong sides down, making sure we're centering this over the zipper. And I try to keep my edges aligned, but sometimes I really don't worry about that because based on how you're cutting, you might be off. My main concern is the zipper. I want that zipper center correctly so that when I'm sewing from the front, I will catch my lining. Okay, then you're going to flip this to the front and top stitch all around your zipper. At a 1/8 seam allowance from the raw edges. So for me, I'm going to back stitch when I start and end, but you're free to leave a long tail when you start and then when you end so you can pull those threads to the back and tie them off. Next up, we're going to trim off the excess zipper over here. Just be careful as you're doing this not to cut through any of your fabric. So you just pull the exterior and lining out of the way and clip this off. Once that is done, we're going to flip this piece over to the wrong side and add double-sided tape all around the edges of the exterior piece. Okay, then we're just going to have our lining just fold down on that double-sided tape, stick in there, and then add double-sided tape starting from the top with the zipper ends here from the top all the way around to the other end over here. Okay, then fold your piece in half, wrong sides together, matching your raw edges as best as you can. Then you can go ahead and trim off if you have some lining fabric showing out. You can go ahead and trim that off now. Next up, grab your completed credit card slot and you're going to turn this to the wrong side and add double-sided tape along the 3 raw edges. Next up, we're going to place our credit card slots down on the zipper pocket. But before you do that, you want to decide if you want your zipper pulled to the left when you add this, or you want that the zipper pulled to your right when you add this down. Let me show an example here of what I'm talking about. So this is the crossbody, and this is the wallet with the zipper pull to the left when we add the credit card slots. So when this slips in to match the pull to the pull of your crossbody, your credit card slots will be facing the front of the crossbody. The other option is to have the zipper pull to the right when you place the credit card slots. And what that's going to do is your credit card slots is going to be to the back so that your pull and the pull matches. Your credit card slots are going to be to the back when you slip this into your crossbody. So those are the two options. I personally like my zipper pull to the right so that the credit card slots can be at the back when I slip this into my slip pocket. So we're going to place this down, matching our edges. Next, we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to top stitch all around the raw edges. You can either use a 1/8 seam allowance or a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you are almost done. So what's left to do now is to trim off your edges if needed, and then edge coat or edge paint those raw edges if that's something you prefer to give a finish to your wallet. All we have to do next is just paint our edges, and I will use the base coat. I think this is called Giardini. Probably not pronouncing that right. Base coat, I usually maybe do about 3 coats. So do the first one, let it dry. Second one, let it dry, and then the third one before I add my paint. And this is the Angela's acrylic leather paint. That's what I use for my edge painting. And this skewer, I think it's called skewer. It's very cheap. Use it, I think, to grill meat. I have a lot of it, and so it's cheap. I use it. I like it. I have one of those expensive roller thingy, and I really didn't care for it. So this does the job. So that's what I'm going to do. Apply my base coat and then do the edge painting afterwards. All right, there you go. Vinyl version of the Neeyah Peek Out Crossbody.